Okay, so let's see if we can prove that LG actually does care about its customers and can do something right for a change after a month of major problems and no solutions from them. So I have this LG G3 here in my phone from them, and this is new battery I just got yesterday from them in the mail. So everything came after about 20 days of waiting. My phone currently does work fine, and it works fine, as you can see right there, with a third-party battery. I had to wind up spending $40 to get a new battery just so I can actually use my phone, something that they should have done. But they said that I need to ship it back and ship not the phone back. The phone I replaced didn't fix anything, and eventually I figured out it was the battery that's the problem. And so they said that I need to ship the old battery back, and then they will ship me a replacement. So I shipped the old battery back. It was on the 31st of July, and today is the August 20th. So I got it last night. So basically almost 20 days, almost 3 weeks. That's how long it took them to get the battery back to me. And the phone has been out of commission for about a month until I resolved it with just spending $40 and buying my own battery from a third party manufacturer. But since I sent mine back, they sent me a brand new one right here directly from them. As you can see, branded LG, no third party, no shenanigans, just doing exactly what they said to do. So I'm going to go ahead and power the phone down, power this thing off. And as it's powering down, I'll show you that the old battery. Let me just take the back plate off here. Right here. So there's the third-party manufacturer battery. As you can see, it looks quite a bit different than LG's battery. But the important thing, it works. So it's the same strength and everything. It works. Okay, let's see if LG's replacement after 3 weeks and a bunch of phone calls and pain and everything else, if that actually does the job. So here's the brand new battery that they just shipped me. I'm going to put it in here. And what it did before, when a problem started, is it would reboot constantly. You know, it would just be constantly in booting mode where you see the logo, and then it goes back and starts with the logo again. It just keeps booting and booting and booting, never letting you use the phone. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And we should see an LG logo show up. There we go. There's LG logo. And it does take a little while at first, so that's okay. That's normal. And then it's supposed to show the AT&T logo. Let's see if that comes up. Usually by this time it should be done with the LG logo. Well, I'll just give it a little bit more time. There we go. Hey, look at that. And that's not what it's supposed to do. So here's their brand new battery after almost 3 weeks of me waiting, sending mine back. And as you can see, it just keeps booting and booting and booting. And this is why I said before, I'm going to say again, I'm never buying another LG product in my life, because I understand that sometimes products don't work, but customer service needs to address these problems. And they clearly haven't done it, because as you can see, they shipped me a brand new battery supposedly, and it does exactly the same thing that my old one was doing. It just keeps looping, booting, booting. So the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, is that LG is definitely not a company you want to be associated with based on their practices. The phone itself I like in terms of everything else, but if it doesn't work with all these features and laser focus and everything else and 13 megapixel camera, if you can't even use the damn thing. So I'm putting the old battery back in, and we're going to give it another test to make sure the old battery still works. So we'll turn this on. This is the old, meaning the third-party manufacturer, the one I spent $40 on, just to get the silly phone to work. And there's the logo, and so it should move into the AT&T logo shortly, relatively shortly anyway. And once we get to the main screen, then I think it's pretty safe to say that it's going to be working once we get to the actual wallpaper. So there's the AT&T deal. And it's the black screen and constant booting. On this battery, we actually get into the login part. Yeah, so this part is fine, and there's my interface and everything. So the bottom line here is this: it's clearly, to me, it's clearly a battery problem, no question about that. But more importantly, it's not just the battery. I think it's interaction of the battery with Lollipop. Because initially I had this phone since last October. I had it for 8 months without a single hitch. I mean, I think it may have frozen on me. I had to reboot maybe once in 8 months' time. So it definitely worked really well. And after 8 months, after the Lollipop came, which I was very eager to upgrade to, and it worked just fine. After that, immediately almost I started having problems, and I thought it was the phone. So I went to AT&T's device service center, DSC as they call it, and they exchanged the phone, but they couldn't exchange, didn't have any batteries. They only had one demo battery they used for themselves. And so everything worked fine for about a day, not a day, actually a couple of hours, because the phone they gave me still had KitKat on it, didn't have Lollipop. And so I went ahead and then upgraded to Lollipop, didn't even think that could be a problem. I got a new phone, it's working, everything is hunky-dory. And then when I upgraded to Lollipop, almost immediately started having the same kind of problem where I would take a picture and it goes and reboots. I take a picture, it goes and reboots. And then it escalated pretty quickly to the point where I just did this boot loop where I couldn't even use the phone at all. And so then I went back to them and they tried their battery, and that seemed to work fine. So that way we concluded that the problem was with the battery, not with the phone itself. But that said, they couldn't give me a new battery because they didn't have any. They said LG hasn't been sending them batteries for over a month. They've been trying to get them, they couldn't get them. And this was about a month ago. And that's where I didn't have any other choice but to give the, to basically go with their customer service guideline, meaning that I had to send the battery back. Once they get it, then they would send me a new back. And the concept of them sending me a new back immediately, concerning the fact that I need to use my phone, they couldn't care less. Their policy is their policy. And so I send the battery, 20 days later I get a new one, and this is how you can see how it doesn't work, even though this third-party one works fine. So yeah, LG is definitely not to be a company to deal with, in my opinion, based on this experience. I don't care how good their phone is. If it doesn't work at all, it's pretty useless. And the thing that I mentioned in the post itself there is that the customer service to me is even more important than the product, because if you use any product can break, any product can have problems. It's a normal course. Things happen. In other words, I mean that's a normal thing. And so the true testament of the company, any company, is what do they do in terms of customer service? Do they take care of the problems quickly and address it to take care of their customers as they needed these requests to be fulfilled? And the answer is most definitely not. Their policies suck. I used to have a Chromebook, which I love Chromebooks. I already had, I think I bought like 4 different Chromebooks, and one of them had a problem. And so I called Google, and they shipped me the same day, in 2 days basically after this conversation with Google. I had a package to send the old Chromebook back. I had the label to pay for all this stuff, so I didn't have to spend a cent to send it back. And the package that I got that had the label and the shipping box also had a brand new Chromebook as well. So in other words, they shipped me a new unit. In 2 days, I had it from the day I called them with the problem. In 2 days from that, I had a brand new unit, and I had packaging paid for to ship my old one back. That's customer service in my view. And that's why I'm going to continue to buy Chromebooks, and I'm recommending Chromebooks and everything, because that's exactly how people should be handled when there are problems. Not like this, when you get a phone and then it's been over a month and the problem still hasn't been resolved and stuff. So I don't know what they're going to do next, but basically that's the saga with LG G3 and the batteries. I think they have serious problem with Lollipop and their batteries, their current stock of batteries, and people are not talking about it, so I am. Thank you.